Hello everyone, this is my second video and today I would like to share with you of how to design and make your resume stand out in the crowd when you're applying for a job posting. So resume is basically an advertisement because advertisements are done to sell a product. Similarly, resume is designed and written by you to sell yourself for the job posting that you're applying for. Before we begin, there are two most important things that you should remember while designing a resume. First is that you need to tailor your resume for each and every job posting that you're applying for, specifically the profile of skills and the work experience, because you can't keep the same resume for every job. It sounds difficult, but it is beneficial that if you tailor the resume to a specific job posting because it helps you to get hired to that position. Second is that there's no perfect or a specific design of a resume, but try to make it simple and professional rather than creative. Because if you're a recent graduate, you might have a strong education qualification rather than a work experience, so it might go before the work experience. But if you have the 3 to 4 years of work experience, here you want your work experience to show out, so you can put the work experience first and then your education qualification. So let's have a look at some potential resume headings. So these are potential resume headings you need to follow. You may not follow this in the same order, but this heading should be there in your resume. I will go through each headings in detail. So let's begin. The first one is the header and the contact information. So header or contact information is basically a personal information that you give about yourself in case if the employer or the interviewer wants to contact you. So it can either look like this or like this. The most important thing over here is that your header should have an latest and updated contact information and email ID, and it should be clean and clear. Other most important thing is that your email ID should be professional. It should not be too long because it looks unprofessional on the header. It should be very simple with your first name and the last name. After coming here, I received an college university email address, so I use that email address in all the jobs that I apply for. Second is the objective statement. So objective statement is basically a para form, which may be up to 4 to 5 lines, not more than that. But again, objective statement is optional. I personally don't include objective statements in my resume, but if you wish, you can. Next comes the profile of skills. So in profile of skills, you can include some technical skills that you have, maybe technical certification, and some soft skill. Now, if you have more than one certification, you can have a separate subheader for certification where you can include all your certification. But if you have a soft skill, for example, maybe leadership skill or communication skill, you need to support that with an example. You can't just plainly state that you are an efficient leader, but you should state that you're an efficient leader. Why? Because you have handled so and so. So here is an example of profile of skill. As you see, the first point itself demonstrated strong leadership skill by heading a committee in a college festival. So this shows that you are a strong leader because you have done so and so things in your college. It shows that you have done so because if you don't give any reference of what you have done, it is basically it is not valid to put it on a resume because it does not show or does not prove that you are a good leader or maybe you have a good communication skill. So here is a small tip that I can give you to write a profile of skills. So that as you can see in this profile of skills, the first word that is demonstrated ability, strong research experience, excellent, quick learner, dedicated team player. So you can use a different starter or beginner word for every statement, and it should be unique. It should not be repetitive. Like you can't use demonstrated twice. You can use address or you can use planned, conducted and compare analysis, or maybe you supervise. So these are the words that you can use to make your statement look concise and rich. So here is a tip: what plus to what and so what. So over here, what means I develop a new advertising campaign which helped increase 6% of client sales. So over here I am developing something which is resulting to some end result. And this is not a successful end result, but it is also helping the client to increase the sales by 6%. So here I'm also quantifying something which is very specific and appealing. You can also have an additional statement to this which help me gain some skills. So you can also add some skills that you have gained through this, because you might have developed a new advertising campaign using some website or maybe some application. So you can add those. So this is a short tip from my side to you. Next is education qualification and academic projects. So education qualification, basically if you have two or more educational degrees, you have it in a chronological order: first masters, then bachelor's. It should include your degree name, it should have the institute name and the location, it should have the course duration, when did you start and when did you end. If you have a good GPA, like an excellent GPA, you can include those below it. Next is the academic project. So here is an example of some engineering project that may be undertaken. As I said, this is like in this project he has quantified some things which shows that he has done like justice to the internship. So it is like very appealing, because when you see, you can see 50 plus 3%. So in this way you can also quantify some of your accomplishment in the internship, which help look your qualification more appealing. Next is the work experience. So in work experience, the most important thing that you should remember is that the work experience should not include duties, it should include the accomplishment. Now, to keep it very simple, if you just write that I have managed so and so client on an Excel sheet or maybe Microsoft Office, it's a duty that you have done. If you state that you have handled like a group of team members, maybe 30 or 40, to develop a new brand promotional campaign for a product, this shows that you have done something. Plus, in addition, if you write that you have learned XYZ, maybe application when you were through your internship or going through the work experience, it shows that you have learned something. You have not only worked for the company, but you also have grown yourself as a person. So it basically should include what you take back home from your work or an internship experience. I can give you one more example on this. This is about a project engineer intern. So as you can see in the first point itself, he or she has stated that often experience in pre-construction, construction, BIM, consulting, and closeout, which shows that he has gathered that knowledge from that internship. He has not only like work blindly, but he has also given justice to the internship that he worked for so and so duration. Now, maybe a person has only a 3 month internship and do not have much content to write. In that case, you can include what you have learned, what you have handled, but not what your duties are. Like what you did every day should not be put on your resume. What you did in like an extra, that should be given on your resume. Next is the scholarship and awards. So scholarship and awards should be short, maybe two or three. It should be the latest and the most evident ones, not like whatever awards you have achieved since childhood. Next is the volunteering experience. Now this section is very optional, but I include this section specifically in my resume because after coming here, I have learned something. It is not that you need to have a paid experience or you need to have some technical skills. Maybe you need to have some certification. An employer also sees what you have done for the community, how you are engaging in the community. So if you have this volunteering experience, it can help you get some jobs. Like over here, we as a student look for part-time jobs. So a volunteering experience also count as an valid experience when you look for a job. One of my friend got job, a part-time job based on the volunteering experience and not on the other experiences he had, because he was in some clubs or community which was like serving every age or every like it was serving everyone in the society, so he had to deal with each and every person irrespective of the age and gender. So on basis of that, the employer was impressed and he got a job. So never think that you have a volunteering experience which cannot be included or it is not valid. Every experience counts, at least over here. Even in India, if you include this, it is an asset because you have done something. You are not sitting idle. Like it is said that it is better to do something rather than nothing. So if you have done nothing, like you are fresh, you have no work experience, you can always add your volunteering experiences. This is my volunteering experiences. I prefer it to give in chronological order because I first showed my Canadian experience and then some of Indian experiences. The last is the reference list. Before coming here, I was not aware that this should be a separate part of the resume. On the resume, you will just write a line stating that reference list available on request. This sheet should be printed separately. It should be separate from your resume and it should only be given to the employer or the interviewer if they ask for it. But you need to carry this and it should be minimum three professional reference because if you have not worked before, you can give your university or college references. I personally gave two internship references and one volunteering references. Over here, this is basically a format. So you should write the name of the person and the position that he or she holds in a specific organization, the company name and the location. Location only includes city and the country. You need to also update its contact and email address. Now, email address you can give his company email address. It will look more professional rather than giving his personal email address. So this should be provided only if asked for. But you should carry this. This is also important. Overall, this is what goes into a resume. You can design your resume in your own way. In my next video, I'll also share my own resume with you so that you can have a look at what I have done. If you have any doubts regarding this video, you can post that in my comment section. And if you want me to make videos which are specific to a field, maybe if you want a video on resume making for finance, maybe an automobile engineering, maybe mechanical, anything, you can also add that in the comment section. I'll try to make a video on that specific field for resume writing, and my next video will also be based on resume only. So stay tuned, and if you like my video, do subscribe my channel, and thank you and stay safe till then. Bye bye.